Okay guys, so welcome back to this channel. This is another video on the channel where we are going to be going on with GDevelop. So now on our last video we were already basically done with our start menu. So what we want to do now is give this play button a function because this happens to be the only thing that is making our start menu incomplete. So as you can see, I already have our tutorial levels, our tutorial scenes set up, and that's going to be our first level. So in order for us to make that work, I did this. I I added this condition and action um to make the play button change the scene to the tutorial level. So now what we want to do is add a transition effect. Want to add a transition effect. So in order for you to do that, the first thing you're going to do is come here and download this, which is the Flash Transition Painter. This is right here. So I already have it installed, so I don't have to download it. So the only object that behavior is compatible with is your shape painter. So with your shape painter being done, you don't really need to do this. I just do that because I like to. So with your shape painter being done, you're going to come here and select this and apply. Then you take it and put it up here. The flash the this new paint object is not meant to be on it's not meant to be directly on the scene. It's actually meant to be here. It's actually meant to be here because it doesn't really serve any value being on the screen. We don't actually need to see it. It's still going to play it's still going to play as a transition from the middle of the screen, not from this side of the screen. So we just put it here for convenience. First of all, let me change the name. Let me change the name. Transition. Okay. So another thing we're going to do is add an object layer. I'm going to add another layer, and the layer we are going to be adding is going to be the transition layer. It's going to be the transition layer, and we are adding this layer because of this, so that whenever the transition occurs, it's going to cover every and absolute going to cover absolutely everything on the base layer. So it's going to cover everything on the base layer for us to be able to go to the tutorial level. So with that being said and done, and we also have to move this. We have to move this to the transition layer. So with that being said and done, we're going to come into the event sheet and add an action that we initiate the transition, which is going to be this paint effect transition. The color, we're going to make this color black. I want to make this the color black and let it run for 1 second. Type. We're going to put this to circular and put this to forward, and opacity 0. Okay, and we're going to want to put this up here so that it's the very first thing that plays when you press the play button. And now if you notice, this is 1 second, while this is 1.2 seconds. The reason for this is so that whenever after the transition has fully executed, this extra 2 seconds is going to serve as a sort of break for us to actually witness the transition. So it actually looks like a loading screen or something like that. So that's 0.2 seconds there, just there for comfort. Just there for comfort. So we're going to come to the tutorial level and do the same thing. Wait, before we do that, on the start menu, you're going to want to make your transition a global object because you're going to be using it a lot across different scenes, different and all scenes. So we're going to want to make that a global object. So now that it's a global object, we can now carry it into the tutorial level. And in the tutorial level, we're also going to do the same thing and put it right here. We're going to make another layer like we did before. Name this layer the transition. Name this layer the transition and put this on the transition layer. And now we are going to make the condition that is going to allow the transition to play. And for this, it's going to be at the beginning of the scene. Choose your trans at the beginning of the scene. Okay. I'm going to choose the exact same thing, but there's going to be a little bit of a difference. It's going to be a bit of a difference. Now, the only difference between those between this and the start menu is the fact that this is not going to be forward, it's going to be backward. So it's going to be the inverse of this so as to introduce the tutorial level. Put this to circular and put this to 0. So with all that being said and done, these are now our results. Oh, okay. Okay, I made a mistake. I made a mistake somewhere. I forgot to correct this because I made an adjustment to the name. That is why it did not go. So now let's try that again. So now that's perfect. It covers the screen. It covers the screen. It waits for 1 second. Everything is good. So we now have the necessary time transition we need to for our tutorial level. So with that being said and done, we deserve a congrats because we have now finally finished our start menu. Finally finish our start menu and we get to move forward to the tutorial level. But before we go, one last preview. You see this right here? It's annoying me. And I don't know why. But I'm going to find a solution for that, don't you worry. Okay. At least now we know that works perfectly. So now that that's done, we can now head into our tutorial level and start making a game. So as you can see, I had already added 2 scene objects here already. So I'm just going to delete this so I can show you where I added it from. And soon enough, I'm going to share the link with you guys on where to get the files that I'm using to create this game. So our scene objects, we're going to be using tiled sprites for the platform. Those 2 dead platforms that you saw, that's what our character is going to be working on. That's the platform for our platformer character. Okay, so I just want to choose this. Okay, so now that I've done that, we'll come here, pick the name, and rename this. And also set the width and height. We have to remember this. It's very easy to forget. Set the width and height. Then you come to behavior as well. Then you add the platform behavior. not platformer character, platform behavior. Then press apply. Want to do the same thing for our other file. Okay, so we now have our platform characters, our platform objects that we're going to be using for this game. So I just want to come here. Okay, one more thing. We need to make our background. So in order for you to do that, this now you don't really need to do this, but I feel like this is advisable. So you want to open your layers panel once more. I'm going to add a background layer. Yes, I'm going to add a background. I'm going to add a background layer so that you can do all this. So that you can do all this on the background. So we are now going to make our background on this layer. Okay guys, so we are now done with our background. Looking nice. Okay, so now that we're done with our background, we are going to go back to the base layer. We're going to go back to the base layer. We're going to put this up. We're going to put this up here and put this transition up here, so that the transition plays above both the base layer and the background, and the base layer is going to show above the background. So we don't have much time left, so I just want to show you guys something. So we added two objects here, which is the platformer depth object. And the thing about Tout Sprite is that instead of them to enlarge like our friend, instead of them to enlarge like our friend Tom here, they do not. Tommy enlarges, but our platformer depth doesn't. It multiplies. So that's just that about that. It multiplies. That's why it's better to use Tout Sprite than using sprite object. Now the very last thing we're going to do here is add I'm going to add a behavior. Oh damn. Okay. So apparently, yes, we're going to add the behavior. So apparently there are a few behaviors that we ought to add. Now, if you remember, we added the platform behavior to our dot right here. Our original dot platform is gone, but we'll get that back in the next video. So with that being added to that, we also need to add a behavior to Tommy to make him able to work on this platform, and that would be the platformer character behavior. So let's preview the game so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh damn. Okay, it fell right through. So now that's what's going to happen when you don't have the platformer character behavior and a platform behavior. Now I don't know what went wrong, but I feel like that's a good thing. So if you don't have a platform, if you don't have that platformer character behavior equipped, it's just going to fall right through your platform. But in this case, we have the platformer character behavior, platformer object behavior equipped. So that means the issue is probably here. I said it. So once we add the platform behavior, it should be able to stand on the dot. It stands. It's now on the dot, and as you can see, you can even move and fall and all that. So that's going to be all for today. We are going to get you more. We have now started making our first level, which is a really big improvement. I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy about that. So don't forget to come back tomorrow and see our progress in making this GDevelop game. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more updates. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.